Good evening. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. This meeting is being recorded. I'd like to first welcome my fellow board members. Good evening.
Good evening, Madam Chairman.
And our town manager, Mr. Scott Crabtree.
Good evening.
Our clerk, Meredith. Ladies and gentlemen of the audience and those watching at home. Tonight, we have a very special guest. We have Liam Martin, and he just earned the rank of Eagle Scout. So we are thrilled that he is here today with his family, and we have a citation to present to him. I think most of you know that the Eagle Scout is the highest, most prestigious rank in Scouting America, and it shows strong leadership and a deep tie to our community. And we want to thank you. We're very proud of everything that you've done. I'm going to ask you, if you wouldn't mind, to come up to the podium, and I'm going to ask, you could go up to the podium, if you don't mind, and I'm going to ask each one of my fellow board members if they'd like to say a few words, and I'm going to start with Selectman Serino, please.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Liam, I want to congratulate you for making the Eagle Scout rank. I know there's a small percentage, like Deb said, that ever get to that rank, and you're an asset to our community, and I'm certainly proud to be here and honoring you tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Selectman Serino. Selectman Federico.
I just want to start by saying congratulations, Liam. You know, something like this definitely doesn't go lightly across the community. It speaks volumes to your dedication and perseverance, showing up day after day. So it definitely speaks, highly of your character. Congratulations.
Thank you, Selectman Federico. Selectman Ciccolini.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, Liam, congratulations. It's quite an accomplishment. I've known your mom for a long time, and I'm sure your parents are very proud, all their support, and your fellow scouts and the community that helped in your project. I look forward to you mentioning what your Eagle project was all about. I was a longtime scout myself. I did not make it by 18 years old to become an Eagle Scout, so I know the effort that it takes in such a short period of time, but you are definitely a huge asset and someone that the younger generation can look up to and see what it's all about to be a class act and to be dedicated and have the will and drive to get it done. So congratulations, a huge, huge accomplishment.
Thank you, Selectman Ciccolini. Selectman Vice Chair Cogliano.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. First, I'd like to congratulate your parents for doing a fine job with you. I like the beard. And thank you for your service to the community. You're certainly an asset to the town. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Selectman Cogliano. Being an Eagle Scout is going to help you get into college. It's going to help you with your jobs. My son got his Eagle back 12 years ago, and he still leaves it on his resume. He's still very proud. I know your troop is just phenomenal. You're dealing with wonderful, wonderful leadership, and you yourself now, as a leader, will help mentor other young people as they move up the ranks. So I'd like to read the citation into the record. Town of Saugus citation to all persons whom these present shall come. Be it known this 27th day of January 2026 that the Saugus Board of Selectmen shall honor Liam Martin on his achieving the prestigious rank of Eagle Scout, the highest honor in Scouts, Boy Scouts America. This accomplishment reflects Liam's outstanding dedication, leadership, service, and commitment to the values of Scouting. The board and the entire community commend you for this significant milestone and your continued pursuit of excellence, signed by the Saugus Board of Selectmen, and it's signed by all 5 of the board members. And if you wouldn't mind, if you could tell us a little bit about your Eagle journey and about your project.
Yeah, I just wanted to start off by saying thank you all for such kind words that you had to say. And my Eagle journey has been about 12 years, so I started in the first grade as a Cub Scout, and it's been a long, difficult journey. A lot of personal growth and learning a lot about myself, especially when I went through all these merit badges. I picked up a lot of different hobbies and skill sets from it, and I wouldn't change anything about it. I really enjoyed it. And my Eagle Scout project was the restoration of a fire pit at Breakheart Reservation. It was old and a safety hazard, and I was able to restore it and make it usable, and just overall a nicer thing to look at as well. So I'm very proud of that.
Well, thank you very much, and again, congratulations to your family as well. I know it takes a village sometimes. I know how much work goes into it. And would like to take a picture with you, Liam. We have our resident photographer here. And if you'd like a picture with the selectmen and a picture with your family, would that be okay?
Thank you.
Okay, what's next? Wendy Hatch.
Thank you, Martin family.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
The next item on the agenda is under correspondence. We have Wendy Hatch, our Saugus Finance Director and Treasurer Collector. We have an approval and vote of the Massachusetts Clean Water Trust interim loan. And Wendy, I see that the town of Saugus has approved for a loan from the Massachusetts Clean Water Trust, the trust in the amount of $2,330,234.
Yes, good evening, Madam Chair and board members. I'm here this evening seeking your approval on an interim loan, zero interest, 20-year interim loan from the Massachusetts Clean Water Trust. Its identified sewer project is Subsystem 2. Part of the consent order that we operated on under years ago, we identified many areas in town that required the reduction of sewer inflow and infiltration. Completion of that project within the 20 years, but part of it was identifying other areas in town. And so the DPW continues to move forward in each of those sections and replacing infrastructure as necessary to maintain that asset for the town of Saugus. Generally speaking, the vicinity of Subsystem 2 is located in the vicinity of the Saugus River neighborhoods between Elm Street and Auburn Street, including Appleton, McIntyre Road, Hull Drive, Hargraves Court, Ivy Street, Bridge Street, Lothrop Street, Hamilton, and Riverbank Road. The construction includes rehabilitation of pipelines, manholes, and service lines necessary to eliminate the I&I inflow and infiltration from the system. Approximately 7,600 feet of 8-inch and 200 feet of 10-inch and 4,650 feet of 24-inch pipe have been identified and will have in-place lining done to them. They don't replace them, they reline them. Also will be included the installation to improve quality of the service to mainline connections. There are approximately 160 of those, and 60 manholes have been identified in that same area as in need of rehabilitation. As I said, it's zero interest. It'll be a 20-year loan through the Mass Clean Water Trust. It's an interim loan. The budget for the project and the approved loan amount is $2,330,234. At the time, once construction is concluded and the Clean Water Trust issues the permanent loan, it could be for a lesser amount depending on if the bids come in lower and the cost of the construction is lower. Attached in the packet that I provided to you for this evening's meeting is a copy of the vote that needs to be read into the minutes for the board's approval. And if there are any finance questions that I can answer for you related to this, I'm happy to do so.
Thank you. How many subsystems do we have?
I wouldn't know that question. The town manager may know that question.
So I think there is maybe like 14 or 14 plus. So I think that we had to identify, it might be a few, maybe more, they had to identify the top, I think 9 originally. And Mike, you might know, right? It was, they did I think it was like 14 plus, right?
Oh, substations? I think there were 26, and
26, and they had to take the top 10 or something, right?
you're right, we were mandated to do about 9
So I think
or
we've
11.
gone like 4 past the 10 now, so probably into, we've done about 14, I think, stations. Some of them much larger than the others. So what happens is sometimes you do one and it could be like the size of 3 other substations. So I think we did a big one a couple of years ago. But again, just to understand the process, what we're trying to do is when they did the study, they identified the 10 worst places, and that's what we were mandated to do under the consent order, administrative consent order from the DEP and the Attorney General's office. And so we've worked off of that, but there was still all these other substations that have the same issues, similar issues, and now we're continuing to do that. We're much more proactive, where it wasn't before. So obviously that comes with, and you guys have been extremely supportive of, having to have capital and doing what we can to repair and to prevent, any kind of infiltration that affects, when we have big floods and 100-year floods that we get all the time now, rainstorms from water going, sewerage and all that wastewater going into the river. Knock on wood, we haven't had that since I've been here, but that was a common occurrence years ago. I think people forget all that. We had the pumps and nothing was working, and we've invested into the infrastructure that will be good for the next 30, 40, 50 years, and we're continuing to do that on a master plan that we have designed, and we continue to move forward with that and bring those capital improvements to the community.
Thank you. And when would this work begin, and how long would it take to get the work done? Any idea?
So I believe the work is beginning or has begun. I believe that this loan has to close for permanent financing by the fall, could be even earlier than that. So if the project's underway, whatever they're allowed to accomplish through the winter and into the spring.
So most of it, just to give a understanding, is that, and I, try to make people understand, like municipal, everything that we do, town meeting, municipal finance, it's a process. It's different than the private sector. Everybody's like, oh, so part of it is we do design work. So 1 year, let's say we're doing design work last year, that design work, when it's approved and we submit it and then go and get the, temporary loans, or we're using money that's already been allocated, the next year is when that project goes out to bid and we do the work. And when the work is going on for one project, we're doing design for the next thing. So it's like we're always cycling to move to get the next project in line. But it does take, sometimes there's a lag, and so you might not do a project every year, but we're pretty much on pace to do that. But things take a long time because there's design work involved, different things that come up, and then you have to go out to bid and then award the contract, and then actually make it so that it's in a season that they can actually do the work. So.
Do board members have any questions? Are you ready for the vote?
Yep.
Selectman Cogliano?
Sure. Vote of the Board of Selectmen that the town shall issue a bond or bonds in aggregate principal amount not to exceed $6,030,500, the bonds pursuant to Chapter 29C and 44 of the General Laws and votes of the town passed May 6, 2024, Article 7, and May 1, 2023, Article 8, for planning or construction of sewers or other water pollution control abatement infrastructure, the project. That the terms of the financing agreement or agreements between the town and the Massachusetts Clean Water Trust, the financing agreement, and the project regulatory agreement for agreements between the town and the Department of Environmental Protection of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the project regulatory agreement, each relating to the notes and the bonds, are hereby approved. That the anticipation of the issuance of the bonds, the treasurer is authorized to issue an interim loan, note, or notes from time to time in aggregate principal amount not to exceed $6,030,500. That each bond or note shall be issued to a single registered security and sold to the trust at a price determined pursuant to the financing agreement. That the treasurer is authorized to determine the date, the form, the maximum interest rate, and the principal maturities of each bond and note, and to execute a financing agreement with the trust with respect to the sale of the bonds and notes, such date, form, maturities, and the specific interest rate or rates of the bonds and notes to be approved by a majority of the Board of Selectmen and the treasurer, and evidenced by the execution of the bonds or notes. That any certificates or documents relating to each bond and notes may be executed in several counterparts, each of which shall be regarded as an original, and all of which shall constitute one and the same document. Delivery of an executed counterpart of a signature page to a document by electronic mail in a PDF file or by other electronic transmission shall be as effective as delivery of manually executed counterpart signature page to each document. And electronic signatures on any document shall be deemed original signatures for the purpose of the documents and all matters relating thereto, having the same legal effect as the original signatures. That all the action taken to date by the town and its officers and agents to carry out the project and its financing, including the execution of any loan, commitment, or agreement by the treasurer, and hereby ratified, approved, or confirmed, and that the treasurer and the other appropriate town officials are each hereby authorized to take any and all actions necessary or convenient to carry out the provisions of this note, including execution and delivery of the finance agreement and the project regulatory agreement relating to the project.
Thank you, and that's seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Selectman Cogliano's motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5 to 0.
Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you
And-
very much.
Thanks, Wendy.
Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you.
Thank you for reading that, Selectman Cogliano. It's now time for our first citizens' comments. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to address the board? Seeing none, we're moving on to our public hearings. Notice is hereby given that the Saugus Board of Selectmen will conduct a public hearing on the request of Ken's Car Care, Inc. for a Class II auto license to operate a business at 128 Ballard Street, Saugus, Mass. 01906. This public hearing will be held in the Saugus Town Hall Auditorium, second floor, 298 Central Street, Saugus, Mass. on January 27, 2026, at 7:00 p.m. Would the applicant please come to the podium?
Madam Chair,
Selectman Chicalini.
before we start the hearing, I just, clarity for the entire board. This is actually a transfer license, not a new license. There's already an existing Class 2 auto license that's in effect and been paid for at this location, and an S2 at the location for this. So my understanding is the owner of the property has leased it to this gentleman that's coming as the applicant. He's running it as both an auto repair shop and would like to also continue to sell continue the license to sell 10 vehicles on the premises. So I just wanted to make that clear to everybody. This is not a new license. This is a transfer of an existing license.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I'll just echo what Selectman Chicalini said. It's a transfer. I know because I signed Ken's car care license in 2000. I believe it was 2000, so this is a transfer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Gerson Argueta. I'm owner of Ken's Car Care, Inc. It's a pleasure to be with you here today. I'm very grateful.
Can we please have your address, too, for the record, please?
Yes, the address is 128 Ballard Street. That's in Saugus, Massachusetts, 01906, zip code. And I'm here today to transfer the licenses over. That's going to be a dealership license and a repair shop. And I take a lot of pride in being owner of a business that's been servicing the community for over 50 years. And very excited to continue building a lot of relationships and building new relationships and the ongoing ones.
So you're looking to do the same exact thing that the prior owner did?
That is correct.
And we're going to keep the same conditions and restrictions that were originally given to you?
That is
or to
correct.
him. Do board members have any questions this
Madam
evening?
Chair.
Selectman Chicalini.
So, and I just wanted to make sure, the only thing that I would make sure that I'd like to emphasize is that when you are selling the vehicles, the 10 vehicles, they were clear in the notes that there are 10 assigned spots that are labeled in there. I believe they're painted yellow. Those are the spots that the cars have to remain in that when they're for sale. Can't put them around the corner in the back or whatever. That was outlined in the permit, so please make sure if this does pass that you comply with that going forward as well.
Understood, will do.
You're not planning on changing any hours or anything, right? You're okay with the 10 cars for sale, Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., no repairs to be done outside the building, no overnight outside storage of vehicles to be repaired, and obviously you'll continue to meet inspectional service recommendations.
Yes, that's correct.
And any cars that are going to be sold, you're not taking anything on consignment. You'll have title to any car that you're selling.
Correct.
Do you know whether the outstanding fire department radio master alarm box fee was paid?
Yes, it was.
Thank you. Any other questions by board members? Any other questions by board members? No. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak either in favor or opposed to this application? Seeing none, what are the wishes of the board?
Madam Chair,
Selectman Chicalini.
I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing.
And that's second by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor of Selectman Chicalini's motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries 5-0. Selectman Chicalini.
Madam Chair, before I make the motion, can you state your full name so I can get it correct for the record?
Yes, it's Gerson Argueta.
Argueta.
Yes.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion that we grant the request to transfer the Class 2 auto license for 128 Ballard Street, Saugus, Mass. in the name of Ken's Car Care. This is going to be transferred to Gerson Argueta, 88 Spencer Street, number 2, Lynn, Mass. 01905. Same conditions as outlined in the original permit. And for the record, that's 10 cars for sale, which will be outlined in designated parking spots. Hours of operation Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. No repairs to be done outside the building. No overnight outside storage of vehicles to be repaired. They're going to continue to meet their inspectional services recommendations. The 10 spots will continue to be designated for the sale of used vehicles and identified, and they will always have clear title to any cars that are being listed as sold or for sale, listed for sale.
And that's seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Selectman Ciccolini's motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Roll call vote, Madam
Oh,
Chairman.
I'm so sorry, it's a transfer.
S2 permits, we usually
Roll
do.
call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes. Motion carries 5-0. Congratulations. Good luck to you.
Congratulations.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Next, we have the town manager's report. Mr. Town Manager.
Good evening, Madam Chair and board members, ladies and gentlemen. Just a couple things. First, I just wanted to thank, all the public safety and essential workers with the town. Obviously, there's a huge storm that we got. We haven't had this kind of snow in a long time. I think I was just alerted to the fact that I think they're saying this is the eighth largest snowfall that we've had on record. So we're in the top 10 here. And Saugus seemed to accumulate a little bit more snow than surrounding communities. I heard there was over 70 schools closed. So it's quite an impact, I think, on the community. But our public safety and essential workers did, an extraordinary job because of the duration of the storm, as well as the intensity at different times, and the amount of snow that we've accumulated. But I just appreciate the residents, their patience. Nothing's perfect. Obviously, this is a snowstorm, and they have snow. I mean, I always try to remind people. I've done many hockey tournaments up in Buffalo with the kids. Buffalo doesn't even call out plows until they have 8 inches of snow on the ground. And they have gates that they shut the entire highways down. You can't drive on the highway. They don't even try to plow them during the storm. So we sort of get spoiled a little bit, I think, over the last probably 5 or 6 years where we really haven't had a lot of snow. This obviously, the town and our DPW and building maintenance and public safety are out, and they continue to be out answering complaints and different issues that are alerted to them. I know a lot of you have reached out to me over during the storm, and they've addressing them as we talk, as we speak. I think, Chairman, you had just sent me something about Dow Street. They went down and inspected it. They're going to do that in the morning, just to make sure they get a little wider and put some salt down before school starts. But they're out doing the best they can do. Obviously, they don't sleep. They're up, throughout the night. All the communities really, struggled with the storm. I have DPW friends that work in other communities that sort of live in Saugus that kind of bragged about how well we managed the storm comparative to other communities that are around us. And so I think this one we got right, but this will continue for the next week at least, every day, trying to widen things, trying to open intersections up. So there's nothing going to be perfect. It just doesn't snap the fingers. There's a lot of work involved. And it's tough on the residents because there's a lot of snow. There's no way to put the snow. We can't have a front-end loader go to every house in Saugus, 9,000 homes, and take the snow out of the front of their house. So what happens, even last night, I think we got maybe another 4 inches, 5 inches in the overnight, or in the evening, and then you wake up and you get plowed back in. So we're doing the best we can do. I would suggest for residents, if you can, this is probably one of those storms, if we get anything like this again, to hire private contractors to help plow their driveways and stuff. There's a lot of snow to shovel or even use a snowblower with, unless you're maintaining it and doing it throughout the entire storm. But this is, I think, 20-plus inches, so quite a bit of snow. Again, if you have issues, just let us know. Contact the DPW. We'll continue to, hit some of the issues that are raised, and people let us know. But I just want to commend everybody for all their efforts. There's a lot, and again, good and bad is we did ticket and tow a lot of vehicles. We had a parking ban. I tried to do the best I could do, sending out numerous messages, text messages, emails, notifications, website, cable. We have just a reminder to the residents, we have a parking ban on overnight in the winter, every night, whether there's snow or not. And I don't think people realize that we don't enforce that. But when we have the snowstorms, it's particularly an issue. And we need to, like on these type of storms, sometimes when it's a few inches, I don't think people are going crazy. But these type of storms, you have to have access to the curb so we can push the snow back, and you can't have vehicles there on those streets or even side streets. So I know that becomes a little bit of inconvenience. We do have overflow parking. And the reason I say that is because we probably are going to have, we have overflow parking up at the high school in the upper lot. And again, the reason I say is because it looks like there might be snow in the future coming, I think sometime over the weekend. Hopefully we don't get hit with that, because when you start putting more snow on top of snow, that's sort of the blizzard of 78. We had like 3 storms. I think the 78 this was bigger than the 78 storm, but 78 was one before, I think, and one after that really, or 2 before that made so much snow that we just couldn't do anything with it here in New England. But anyways, I just want to commend everybody. It's a lot. If you have different issues or different things that have come up, let the DPW know, and they have a list. They're trying to tick things off. It's going to take time, because a lot of stuff now, you have the front-end loaders, they have to go out and clear drains so that when things melt, there's access to the drain for the water and all that. But I think everybody's done a great job. I know towing the cars isn't the best thing for residents, but hopefully people understand that we have to do it for public safety reasons and to be able to get the streets opened up and sidewalks and for the schools. So hopefully everything will go well tomorrow. The schools will be back up and running. There's going to be a lot of cold weather, so there's a drain on the crews as well, because then they got to go out and salt in the middle of the night when things get freeze up. And there isn't really warm weather, I don't think, in the horizon right now. So. But I just wanted to say thank you. That's just one thing I wanted to add. I don't know if the board has any comments on that, if you wanted to.
No, we want to thank you for everything you've done as well. I mean, I'm sure the board members, I know I have, but I'm sure my fellow board members have been reaching out to you as well on different streets, different issues that residents have had, and I know that you've quickly either contacted the plowing company or the DPW or whomever and got those issues resolved. So thank you for all of your efforts as well.
Thank you.
Do board members have any comments they'd like to make?
Madam Chairman, just to touch on the snow situation, I want to thank the DPW and the private contractors. Considering the amount of snow we got, they did do a great job. I only get a couple complaints, but that was basically because people had left their cars on the street overnight, and plows had a tough time to get through the roadway. But I want to thank everybody for all their hard work. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Selectman Sereno.
Yeah, I would add, the police did a good job. We were in constant communication. I was actually out during the storm to make sure vehicles were off the streets, and they did a good job of trying to notify and knock at doors and use the PA system to try to get people to move the cars before they, ended up tagging and towing. But it becomes crucial because that snow comes down pretty heavy, and then if you've got cars on the road, you can never get it cleaned and you can't get the cars out of there, and it just, it's a lot more work, so, very good. Okay. I just have a couple of appointments this evening. You guys have a packet there. The first one is appointment to the Conservation Commission. I bring before you the name of Paul Pekowitz, 53 Walden Pond Ave, who will be reappointed to the Conservation Commission for the town of Saugus upon your approval. The appointment will take effect immediately and expire on June 30th, 2027.
Madam Chairman,
Selectman Sereno?
I'll make a motion that we reappoint Paul Pekowitz, 53 Walden Pond Ave, term to expire on June 30th, 2027.
And that confirmation is seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion? I need a roll call vote, please, Meredith.
Selectman Sereno?
Yes.
Selectman Federico?
Yes.
Selectman Chicalini?
Yes.
Vice Chair Cogliano?
Yes.
Chairman Panetta?
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Right, I have another one for the Conservation Commission. I bring before you the name of Jennifer Dion, 34 Myrtle Street, who will be appointed to the Conservation Commission for the town of Saugus upon your approval. This appointment will take effect immediately and expire on June 30th, 2029.
Madam Chair?
Madam Chair,
Selectman Federico.
I'd like to make a motion to approve Jennifer Dion for the Conservation Committee, Jennifer Dion of 34 Myrtle Street.
And that appointment will expire on June 30th, 2029?
Yes.
Okay, and that is a confirmation motion, and that is seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Selectman Sereno,
Yes.
Selectman Federico,
Yes.
Selectman Chicalini,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cogliano,
Yes.
Chairman Panetta.
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Okay, and I have one more, which is a reappointment to the Board of Assessors. I bring before you the name of David Riccadelli, 21 Columbus Ave, for reappointment to the Board of Assessors for the town of Saugus upon your approval. This appointment will take effect immediately and expire on December 31st, 2028.
Okay, I need
Madam
a-
Chair?
Selectman Chicalini.
I'll make a motion that we confirm the appointment of David Riccadelli, 21 Columbus Ave, reappointment to the Board of Assessors for the town of Saugus. It'll take effect immediately and expire on December 31st, 2028.
And that's seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Selectman Sereno,
Yes.
Selectman Federico,
Yes.
Selectman Chicalini,
Yes.
Vice Chair Cogliano,
Yes.
Chairman Panetta.
Yes,
And
motion
that's-
carries 5-0.
And that's all I have for this evening. If I have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you, Mr. Town Manager. Do board members have any questions for the Town Manager? Seeing none, we have the approval of minutes, January 13, 2026. Would somebody please make that motion? And that's seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Selectman Cogliano's motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. It is now time for our second citizens' comments of the evening. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to address the board? Seeing none, we're going to move on to members' motions, and I'd like to start with you, please, Selectman Sereno.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Just again, I want to thank the DPW and the private contractors for doing an excellent job in town. Also, I want to thank you, Madam Chairman, for putting together this forum. I know you spent a lot of time regarding the e-bike forum. That is scheduled for February 5th at 7 p.m. If anybody's interested, it'll be here at Town Hall. I think it's going to be, a few people are going to put on presentations regarding e-bikes and also dirt bikes. So it's just not going to be restricted to e-bikes, from my understanding. So I think it'll be a good take. And then finally, Dennis School sent us something regarding Mrs. Payton. She's 16 points away from being the highest scorer for the Saugus High School basketball. Her next game is this Thursday at Saugus High School. They're playing Winthrop at 6 p.m. And they expect her to break that record as being the all-time basketball scorer for the town. So if you can make it to 6 o'clock Thursday night, I think it's a great take and show Peyton some support. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Selectman Sereno. Selectman Federico.
I'd just like to echo the town manager and Selectman Sereno. Big shout out to the DPW facilities. The town manager, I had a couple issues throughout town that he went through and found a cure to pretty quickly. So I definitely appreciate that. Also, Saugus Police and Fire for tagging and towing. I just want to remind residents, if you have a fire hydrant in front of your house or on your street, to shovel it out. It's not too late, but that snow is going to freeze, and it becomes a safety concern. I want to give a shout out to the residents too. For the most part, I think they were very patient. They understand that this storm was a pretty brutal storm. The DPW and facilities guys were going nonstop, many hours without sleep. And I'd like to also give a shout out to Peyton. She's only 16 points away from the record, it's my understanding. And they also have 9 games left, so it looks like she's going to exceed the record and absolutely blow it out of the water. So I'm excited for that. Again, Thursday, hopefully we'll see everybody there.
Madam Chair?
Thank you, Selectman Federico. Mr. Town Manager.
So I will add that it's interesting with the snowstorms, and I always say this, and they've heard it a million times. When we get like 2 to 3 inches, we get more complaints because it's one of those things that you try to treat the roads and you don't bring the plows and you don't know whether you're gonna get more inches or less, and those are the ones that sort of cause a lot of issues. Some of these, I guess people realize that you're gonna get snow, and then it's sort of like after they get aggravated because there's so much snow and you can't get in and out of your driveway. But, yeah, I agree, the residents, hopefully are grateful, and their patience, I guess, is thankful that they understand that there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of people working to make things right.
Thank you, Mr. Town Manager. Selectman Chicalini.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First, I'd like to, on behalf of the board and town manager, will pass along our condolences to Corey Berkowitz on the passing of his wife, Linda. Corey's been a lifelong resident and has been with his wife, I believe, 27 years. So she passed suddenly, and our hearts go out to him and his family. I, too, am extremely excited about having this forum. I appreciate everything you've done, Deb, to make sure that we have all the I's dotted, T's crossed, and everybody here. A lot of us have had different conversations offline with different representatives and state delegates, and for you to kind of organize it all and put it all together and make sure everybody's on the same page. I think this is going to be a great way for us to take a proactive approach. Spring is quickly approaching. You wouldn't know after the 20-something inches of snow, but it's going to be here before you know it. So I know the police chief is planning on doing some form of a presentation, and I know Senator Creighton as well. So I think those are all going to, as well as, of course, the Safe Streets and all the other programs, Safe Routes to School program and stuff. So I encourage the residents and even the riders in the community to come out and have input and try to be part of the solution so that we can make it safer for everybody, not just the riders, but also people in traffic, people driving vehicles, et cetera. So more to come on that. And last but not least, I already put it out on social media, but a huge kudos, starting with you, Mr. Manager, and running point on several issues as they came up, but also the DPW, the contractors, police, fire, facilities. They really did a fantastic job, and unfortunately I had to drive into a couple neighboring communities today, and so I was able to witness the difference. And if anybody wants to see the difference, I encourage you to go onto Guy Moley's Facebook page, and he could show you the difference between Lynn and Saugus. It's pretty remarkable. So huge kudos. I know the guys were out there burning the midnight oil. So
And there's a lot more work to still be done.
Oh, yeah.
That's what people don't realize.
Yeah. No, I know. A lot of snow removal too
Yeah.
now and stuff for stuff piled up. So just it didn't go unnoticed. So thank
It's
you very much for
appreciated.
that.
I'll pass it on, but,
That's all I had, Madam Chair. Thank
and
you.
how about them Patriots? No one's mentioned the Patriots, huh?
So true.
Yeah?
I don't want to jinx. I don't want to jinx it.
Just gonna see
Thank you,
what happens.
Selectman Chicalini. Selectman Vice Chair Cogliano.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I too would like to thank the manager and everyone involved with the storm. Again, if you go on, I know you're not a big social media guy, but the comments were
Really?
99% good. I know we get another one on the way, so hopefully the guys get some rest before the weekend. And I also want to wish Peyton the best of luck breaking that record. Great family. I coached her brother Ronnie in baseball. Great parents. So I know I'll be there on Thursday night, and if everyone else can be there, that'd be great. That's all I have, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Selectman Cogliano. Go Peyton. I want to also thank the town manager again for all of your hard work during this storm. I want to thank the DPW, the fire, the police, all the contractors, because it was, how many inches? 2 feet? It was,
20 some odd, I
it
think, right?
crazy, absolutely crazy.
Between the two, the morning, the day and the night.
I appreciated the communication.
The east side had more, believe it or not. East side of Saugus.
Did it?
I'm not kidding you.
I appreciated the communication, letting residents know about the storm and the parking ban. A lot of us took what you put on the website and we cut and pasted and put it on social media. Well, 4 of us are on social media all the time and trying to post things to let people know what's going on. So Thank you very much for that, and thank you to all the departments.
And to add to that, Madam Chair, is, we have emergency management, Saugus Emergency Management, and they're obviously coordinating, working with public safety and everyone else, but they're prepared for anything that comes, as well as, I think I mean it when we put the press release out and say, we're here.
Right.
If you need us to call, we have those calls through emergency management routed right to dispatch. You can call 911 as well. But we're there if the residents have heating issues or, any kind of housing and all that, and we'll activate a shelter if we need one. And we have senior center that has a generator and all that. I've been here 15 years, and I was a police officer like 11. I don't think we've ever activated a shelter, but we do have that ability, and we have inventory and different things, waiting if that happens, if we lose power for an extended period of time. But we're here if the residents need it, and the emergency management deals with those type of issues to help the residents.
Thank you. Yeah, and there were questions on social media regarding that, and we all did tell people that if there was an emergency, call 911 or emergency management. We gave the phone numbers, so we are all very proactive. We want to make sure everybody stays safe.
You remember-
I sent him Mr. Manager's home address and
There
just
you
told him, knock on the door, the cookies are in the oven.
Yeah, exactly. But interesting, remember a few years back, we had a big flooding, remember, in the
Yeah.
winter?
I do.
And all the power, they had to have National League went out and shut everybody's power out in canoes and took the power out. It was so, we've had some serious issues, all over, but we all try to work together, and we do the best we can do to respond to things. It doesn't always satisfy everybody, but we do the best to try to respond and be present.
Thank you. Our sincere condolences go out to the Joseph family. They lost their beloved Robert on January 20th. I want to echo Selectman Ciccolini's comments regarding Linda Bergowitz. Our heartfelt condolences go out to Corey and their children, Zach and Nicole, and their parents, Robert and Irene. It was sudden, and we're very, very sorry. Corey's somebody that I think everybody knows in town, and our heart just bleeds for him and his family. Our next Selectmen meeting is going to be on a Wednesday. It's going to be February 11th at 7 o'clock here in the Town Hall Auditorium. And I just want to reiterate what Selectman Ciccolini and Sereno said regarding the e-bike forum. I hope that people do come February 5th, 7 o'clock. It's going to be right here in the Saugus Town Hall Auditorium. We're going to have Deborah Crathan from Massachusetts Safe Routes to school the program of MassDOT. Police Chief Riccadelli is going to be talking about what the police are doing to combat this issue. Kara Oberg, she's representing the Ride Cafe in Melrose. We have Senator Brendan Crichton. He's going to be giving a PowerPoint presentation talking about what they're doing at the state level. We have members, we'll all be here, members of the Board of Selectmen, the school committee. We would really like to see a lot of people in attendance. We'd like to see students as well as parents and anyone who's being impacted by e-bikes, dirt bikes, regular bicycles. Come with your questions. There'll be people here to answer them, and would like to, like I said, like to have a lot of folks here because this has been a community issue now for quite some time. And with that said, would somebody please make a motion to adjourn?
Madam Chairman.
And that's seconded by the chair. All those in favor of Selectman Cogliano's motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed. Motion carries 5-0. Hope everyone has a wonderful
Good night,
evening.
everybody.
Good night.